you like our garb?
Yeah. No, actually, this is what I was wearing to work today.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any virtual meetings today in your...
Mm-hmm. I got fired. I'm kidding.
Oh, perfect.
Welcome to our podcast. This is Silent Screaming Resurrected.
I'm Jordan Gradell.
I'm Patrick Hill. Climb no, that's...
Every mountain.
What is there? Oh, the hills are alive. I was like, there's a hill one in there somewhere.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
The Sound of Music? And you call yourself a theater major.
I know. We're your nuns today, here to talk about the sensational 2024 film Immaculate, starring Sydney Sweeney.
And a bunch of other people.
And a bunch of other people.
We're just, don't worry about us. Nunnin?
Just nunnin.
Just
What are you doing?
new boot nunnin.
What are you doing, nunnin?
Yeah, we're talking about the new movie with Sydney Sweeney called Immaculate. But before we get into it, let's talk about some things that we're looking forward to.
Ooh, I can tell you one thing I'm looking forward to /
Tell me.
cautiously optimistic about.
Tell me.
So they announced, I don't know if you saw, that Mike Flanagan, the director and creator of Haunting at Hill House, Bly Manor, and the other things, Fall of the House, Usher, and several other things, that he's going to be directing a new remake.
That's what we want, another remake.
And get what it is.
Give it to me.
They're trying again.
Oh no, what is it?
The Exorcist.
No. Why are we doing this?
Here's the thing. If anyone's going to do it well, it's my boy Mikey Mike.
But you know what I would love? What I would love is for us to get some original content.
You know, that's the dream.
I think you can still make a demon-possessed movie and put your own storyline to it.
And I don't know for sure that it is overtly a remake or if it's just something else in the Exorcist cinematic universe.
So is it going to be different than like The Exorcist Deceiver?
I hope so.
Believer?
I don't know.
I'm
Justin
a believer.
Bieber.
I'm a deceiver.
If I try. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. There was another new trailer, I think, for Long Legs, which I'm just so excited about.
I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm saying. I think whenever even if you're Mike Flanagan and you do a remake of such a well-known and beloved horror movie, I think there's a certain Patrick just took a photo of me looking dressed in my Sunday best. And I just think that there's a certain level of expectation when you're remaking something that is so well known, and people compare it. If you make something original, you don't have anything really to compare it to, or at least as much to compare it to. And I don't know. I just feel like all of his stuff is so good, and I really enjoy his
originals.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I do agree with you. If anyone's gonna do it,
it's him.
What is it? In Mike Flanagan, we trust. What else are you looking forward to? Is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. I feel like we've talked about pretty much everything else that's like really big and coming out. I've heard that the early screenings of The Crow.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Heard it was atrociously bad, which makes me very sad for our boy Bill Skarsgård.
Full circle. That's what I'm saying. When you remake,
you do bad.
It's just everyone's like, it's not the original. It's never going to be as good as the original. And I will die on this hill. The only one that I like, when it wasn't even a remake.
It was a new concept. Are you talking about Evil Dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved Evil Dead.
It improved.
Yeah, a reimagined. I don't know. Okay, well that makes me really sad because I love me some Bill Skarsgård.
Me also as well.
Well, I don't think I don't know if it's gonna be good, but there's this new movie called Under Paris.
Yes, I think it's out now, right?
It's on Netflix.
I've heard it's silly fun.
Okay, I am looking forward to it though. I love a good movie that I don't have to pay to stream. A little scandalous shoulder slip there. I'm looking forward to watching that. And then there's been a couple of things that have been announced that are coming out in 2025. I wanted to just mention for a quick sec. Of course, The Watcher. What is it? The Watchers? The Watchers?
Doesn't that come out this year?
It does, but I
With Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it on the last episode, but I keep seeing some promos for it, and I am really still excited about that. But they're coming out with a new Insidious. Did you know this?
I thought the Red Door was going to be the last one.
According to this screenshot I sent, I can't pull much else up because it's a screenshot, but it looks like there's Insidious, and then they're also coming out with a 28 years later.
Yes, I am excited about that. I think Cillian Murphy's coming back for
yes,
it too.
Yes, he's in a little promo shot, but like that makes me feel so old. 28 years later, Jesus Christ!
I don't think it's actually 28 years later.
It's called 28 years. Oh.
They were like, yes.
I'm like, no, you
later.
idiot! It literally says 28 years later.
It's literally called that.
There's a Final Destination Bloodlines coming out.
It's a series, I think, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it's probably not going to be good.
I mean, maybe, you never know.
We're getting a lot of sequels because they're also doing the Megan 2.0, and they're also doing
Talk to Me Too.
Talk to Me Too.
And Smile 2.
And Smile 2 and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. We're getting a lot of 2s.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is confusing.
1 plus 2 equals
so
5.
7 Nights at Freddy's.
What?
7 Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, a whole week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys survive a whole week. But that's really all she wrote. Do you want to do anything else? We talk about the Nun movie, or do you want to take a shot? We don't have it here.
No, but we should mention we are drinking a Chardonnay, blessed by Jesus Christ himself.
I meant to pour a red wine, but I poured a white on accident.
It's because it hasn't been blessed yet. It doesn't have the actual blood of Christ in it yet.
Cheers.
Did you know, fun fact, as Catholics, growing up, we were taught, do you know what the, what is it called?
Communion?
No, the transubstantiation.
Like Jesus is actually in there?
Yeah, he's like actually in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? If you don't, if you didn't know, us Catholics believe that, I say us because I was raised Catholic, but once it is blessed by the priest, it is in fact the body and the blood. The body and the blood.
Mildly cannibalistic.
Yeah. And growing up, when I would take, this is a good segue into the film. Growing up, I would believe that, or actually we were taught that when you took the Eucharist, you weren't supposed to chew it. Because that's disrespectful to the body of Jesus Christ.
So you're supposed to just swallow it?
You just kind of let it get soft in your mouth and then you swallow.
That's what she said.
Hey. So interesting. It's very interesting. The whole, again, if you are currently a practicing Catholic.
Sorry.
It's not that no shade, but I just feel like there's so many things where I'm like, huh?
What?
And as a kid, when you're like, I was about to say, when we're bred to believe it, when we're born and raised to believe you better believe it. When you're born and raised in that, I mean, I think this is a lot of like organized religion in general, but specifically Catholics, we believe some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, I gotta go.
All of us got our weird little things.
Mm-hmm. But it is really interesting because I still have a lot of friends that are very much devout Catholics. And I love them dearly. It's just so funny. I'm like, wow, you're still going with that, huh? Mm. Anyway, that was my TED Talk. Thank you for joining me. Great. Well,
what are your first thoughts, Sister Gradell?
Well, Sister Patrick, I'm glad you asked. I thought it was horrible. I hated it. I thought it was not good. Not good at all.
Not good.
Not good. And okay, I'm gonna spice things up. Let's spice it up a little bit. One of my exes If you know, you know. Get dream guest on my podcast.
Guest on my podcast.
Dream guest on my podcast would be Sydney Sweeney. Just because I would say, why the fuck did you do this? Because I like Sydney Sweeney.
I think she did good at acting.
I totally disagree.
Oh.
I totally disagree. I watched Madam Web recently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I haven't seen that. But
And I was like, and even Mason was like, she's bad. And I'm like, no, it's the writing. It's the writing. And then I saw Immaculate. I'm like, no, she's not good. She's not good. I think she played like the character in Euphoria. I think she plays that type very
Really
well. I was not buying the fact that she was a nun. I was not buying it. Her eyes don't move when she's acting. They stay the same.
I didn't notice that.
They don't move. There's no like, maybe it's the Botox, but maybe this gets me canceled. I don't think Sydney Sweeney's a good actress. I'm sorry.
Controversial.
I'm sorry. Okay, your turn. What do you think?
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was good. I thought it was a movie.
It was in fact a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But be honest, did you really think she was a good actress in
I
this?
thought she did fine. I guess I didn't really analyze it hardcore, but I didn't really notice anything I would say bad. I think I was really frustrated with the character. I was frustrated with the character and the writing like hardcore because like I feel like the writing was left out so much detail. Okay, so firstly, backing up. Have you seen The First Omen yet?
No, I need to. I'm waiting for it to be free.
So seeing The First Omen made this one especially bad because The First Omen is very close in plot. Very close.
Okay.
But better.
Okay.
Does it way better. With way better acting, way better writing, everything. But this plot, I just kept waiting for something like shocking to happen, but I knew every beat. I just heard that little burp. It just felt very like A plus B equals C at the end. I don't know. I just didn't love it. I didn't love, I don't know. I feel like it just didn't do anything new to the nun horror genre.
No.
The only things that I liked was that science was oddly the villain in this somehow, kind of, in a religion movie.
Yeah.
Like the priest was using science,
Sure.
his interpretation of science to try to basically clone Jesus or like create a Jesus offspring. Which was really weird, but not like, didn't feel like a plot twist somehow either. I was like, okay. Like,
I think they could have leaned more into that storyline versus hers. I just thought she was so boring.
yeah, it
like
was
the character, her
motivation for being there. I was like, why?
I was just when how she talks is, I was just like want to be a nun. I was just like, I just like want to be a nun.
There just wasn't a lot of things weren't earned in the movie. It just like had these beats that I was like, that's where I know it's going, but I keep waiting to like justify the beats.
Yeah. And you know what was frustrating is you could tell that they had it in the budget to do some
huge budget.
Yeah. You could tell the quality was there, but her character was just so painfully boring. Like I wanted to see I wanted to see more of other people's storylines. Like I don't know. I just think we put Sydney Sweeney in it because
she produced it.
Yeah, I saw that. And she originally was about when she was 17, she originally auditioned and then it didn't materialize and blah, blah, blah.
So she made it materialize.
They made it materialize. And I mean, good for you for being persistent, but I didn't. Her acting took me out of it. Her character was so boring. I feel like if you have that kind of budget, like let's make it more bloody, more gory. Let's put more action scenes in there. Like I just didn't feel like you said, it felt like it was a slow burn, but then it never turned into a flame of any kind.
No, there was no flame.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like it kept trying to shock us, and I was just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like this ain't new.
And we couldn't even see the damn baby at the end.
So one thing that I did like was that. Not that the baby got killed, but I liked that we didn't see the baby for a reason. Because one, I didn't really want to see that happen. I mean, I did want to see what the baby looked like.
Mm-hmm.
But my theory is that technically nothing was wrong with the baby.
Oh.
Because the tooth thing, you know how she was losing
Mm-hmm.
teeth? That happens. Like to pregnant women. They sometimes have teeth fall out.
That's
I
gross.
know. Enjoy that. Well, you're a nun. You won't have to experience that. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Celibacy.
The vow. You know, we love it. We love not getting fucked. And I like the interpretation that maybe the baby was like perfectly normal and she just was paranoid because of, I mean, like one, she was violated. Like basically, I mean, not basically, she was raped in order to get pregnant, and it was against her consent. But the baby, well, she had it. It was born, and then she killed it. And I'm like sitting here thinking, I wonder.
Ooh. Do you feel like this is like a parallel comparison to like abortion laws and the restrictions that have come out within the last few years?
It was like a weird, like, flipping on its head of everything. Like science was the villain in this interpretation, and the like solution in the end was to kill the baby, which felt very like turning everything on its head, in a way. Well, I guess actually in religion, science is often the villain, so maybe that's not turning it on its head. But I don't know. That's what I thought. I thought the priest was hot.
Of course you did.
He was hot. I wanted to look at him more.
See, I would have been fine with having a whole movie about his storyline.
You know what else was wild to me?
Salme.
Do you know, I think her name's Simona Tabasco. She... From
Light Lotus?
White
Light
Lotus.
Yes.
From season 2 of White Lotus. She was in this, and I kept being like, oh, I'm so excited for her role. And she was just that opening scene.
Underutilized.
And I was like, hello?
Hello? Underutilized.
But again, I need you to watch First Omen, because you're going to be like, did they just copy it and make it better? Because it's like better.
I will.
So much better.
The only thing I liked about the movie was when they got her all dolled up in the church and she kind of looked like the Virgin Mary. I thought the costume was fantastic. That was beautiful.
It was very gorgeous. I did like the scene of her, which it was too on the nose, of her like learning to kill the chicken, and she's like, I can't. And then when she like fakes the pregnancy, like the miscarriage by killing the chicken, I liked that as a plot point.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, you dumb ass. You put the chicken under your bed.
She was dumb.
Like,
She was dumb.
you could have done anything else with it. Mm-hmm. Thrown it out the window. Hid it in a cabinet.
A cabinet.
Somewhere
You
that is
dumb bitch.
not very easy to discover immediately.
Her character was horrible.
And also the Mother Superior like sucking on the bloody blankets was pretty
So gross.
Pretty gross.
But see, those are the moments that I want to see in a horror film. Like, you don't have to do a lot to make people feel uncomfortable. Sydney Sweeney just didn't do it.
No, she didn't.
And
do
like,
it.
I love that they're like, okay, we're gonna put you in this loincloth, and we're gonna dunk you in water, and we're just gonna have your titties just
flopping
bobbing
about.
there. I really feel like they, and I said this when we first talked about it before it even came out. I was like, I feel like they're just gonna sexualize her.
They did.
Listen, if I had hoo-haws like her, I mean, if you got them, flaunt them. I just feel as though every single thing I've seen her in, it's like tits.
Look at the titties.
Like, we get it. She has boobs.
I love you in a nun outfit saying hoo-haws. That's very appropriate. If you got the hoo-haws. Yeah, I kept hoping that wouldn't happen. And then my roommate walked in on one of the scenes where she's just like in the nightgown. It's just like boobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I get the casting choice because they were like, you got pregnancy boobs without trying to have pregnancy boobs. You just have very big, perky boobs.
Do you feel like they wrote that in because of her?
The boobling?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I mean, I have a feeling that the script probably sexualized her the whole time.
What's wrong with Hollywood?
What is wrong with you? Once again, why I like First Omen better. There's some sexualizing, but it feels important to the plot.
Okay.
This one did not. I was like, at no point in this movie are we supposed to find her character sexually appealing. She's a nun the whole time, and she's immaculately conceived, or we're supposed to believe, per the title, which also title choice gave the whole plot away.
Even the trailer gave it all away.
That's my biggest complaint with every horror movie nowadays, except for Long Legs, is the trailer just tells you the whole plot, and I'm like, stop doing that.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I going to watch it now?
Well,
You want to hear something fun? I have a fun story.
Fun story.
So for those of you that don't know, I went to a very small private Catholic school from kindergarten all the way through high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And at our school, we didn't have nuns, but we had sisters. And they basically wore what we're wearing now, except it was like a navy blue. And I should know, I used to know what the difference is between the two. Obviously, I think a nun is like
So
higher.
navy blue is a color in the blue family. It's slightly different than black.
But I think you can now wear black and navy blue together because growing up, that like you couldn't do that.
Oh yeah, black and blue is somehow in.
So anyway, I think this was like my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And these nuns came over and talked to us. They gave us, it was basically like a recruitment talk. And this nun comes up to me and she sits down and she said, hi. And I don't remember exactly what we talked about before. She's like, she looked me dead in the eyes and said, I think you have a calling to the sisterhood.
And she was right.
And I said, oh.
He said, oh my God, where do I sign?
I said, maybe.
Okay.
And then still to this day, I feel guilt because I feel like that was.
That's the Catholic.
The Catholic in me is like, Jordan, this is God speaking. You should have listened. I sent you a sign and now you're going to rot in hell.
You chose a life of sin. Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
I will say, I find it less problematic for nuns to be recruiting at schools than military recruiters. I'd rather get my child to be recruited to be a nun because, like, oh no, what's she going to do? Not have sex and do some community work and live in a convent somewhere with a bunch of other women? Oh,
that's actually the dream.
Forbid.
That's actually the dream now.
Heaven forbid.
Is it too late for me?
I don't think it's ever too late, Jordan.
I found Jesus. What if I go into is it convent?
Convent. Mm-hmm.
I was about to say convict.
Convict is different.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
no.
also kind of a life of isolation,
Seclusion.
but it's different.
But isn't that the dream, though?
Yeah.
You can just live in a community with just women and do some community service and just pray and help out your fellow sisters.
Honestly, like sometimes a vow of silence, that's not real nice.
That does sound really nice. But
no one's going to talk to me. I don't have to talk to nobody.
I think those are just monks.
No, nuns do vows of silence sometimes.
Maybe. But I'd love that. My throat hurts. I would do it. But I don't think they take people like us that have lived.
Whores.
Oh. You whore.
You
I'm not a whore anymore. Sorry, Mom.
No, I think you can. You just have to be like.
Repent.
Well, that's our super short review of Immaculate. Hollywood do better. Sydney Sweeney, I have not lost my faith and confidence in you. I think you're a good actress. I think that sometimes we just pick bad projects.
I think that she can do better. I do think that like she has the skill set. I just think that she needs to maybe go to like some acting classes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like all of them should be doing that. Working on your craft, you know?
She doesn't, like her face acting is not good.
It's just like.
It's still, her eyes don't move and her face just isn't like animated sometimes for like those big dramatic scenes. However, I will give her credit. The final scene in this movie where she's like screaming and pushing out the baby. I read somewhere that they only did 2 takes of it.
I saw that on IMDb.
Yeah.
And they'd used the first one.
And they ended up using the first one. I will say that's the most like raw emotion I've seen from her, and I wish we would have seen more of that.
Part of me thinks from a
throughout.
production standpoint, maybe that was an intentional choice to like have her be pretty even keeled until that end scene.
Maybe.
Why is my phone just going fucking nuts? Nuck and futs. But yeah, Sydney Sweeney, I'm holding out hope for you. Also, like, not to even mention, but I will mention, she sometimes seems like a woman who was made in a lab, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have you watched her Hot Ones episode?
Not yet.
Her favorite hobbies are like dirt biking and
fixing cars.
And I think hunting with her dad.
I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I mean, if there weren't like a million pictures of her from like her childhood doing all of those things,
I could find some photos of me standing around cars.
she's just like a big boobied blonde woman, like white woman whose hobbies are all of the straight man things.
But it's not giving. See, I also hate when people say it's giving.
Pick me.
It's giving. I don't even want to say pick me, but like I don't think she. I don't know her.
I will say her interviews, she seems like an incredibly chill, down to earth person.
I hope so.
So I want to believe that those are maybe actually her real hobbies.
I really hope so. I mean, I obviously don't know her at all, and I'm sure she is a wonderful person. I just also know girls that are like, I don't, like I'm not a girl's girl type mentality. And I'm not saying that's how she is. I agree with you. It's almost like her marketing or her PR team is like they know she knows who her clientele is. She knows who her audience is. So I
will
I
say
guess
this movie
smart.
was a pretty big risk for her because one of the things I did like about the marketing is they created like marketing materials out of negative tweets and things. Not like negative like this was bad. Negative like the world has corrupted Sydney Sweeney and evil Hollywood has taken her and she's done this sacrilegious evil blah blah blah, and they like turned those into posters, and I'm like, I love that.
I hadn't seen any of that.
I saw a lot of it when they were here for South by. That's when they posted a lot of it. Was like they were getting super big flack, and they were like,
good, keep it on.
I do say myself.
Indeed.
I do declare that the nun horror genre is very saturated, and if you are going to make a nun horror movie, it better be fucking unique, please.
Really, any horror movie in general, but I do agree. I feel like recently we've had a lot of nuns in the horror space, and it's weird.
Yeah, there was, I mean, the Nun 2. There was this. There was First Omen. There was that movie with Jenna Malone from Hunger Games. She had a nun movie. There was one other one that I watched that was really bad that I cannot remember what it was called. All came out in the last like couple of years. I'm like, please stop.
It's too much.
Please
it's
stop.
too much.
But again, First Omen is the latest one to come out, and I think is the best out of all of them.
I'm excited to see it. I need to go watch it.
I might be hyping it up too much, but I really loved it.
No, I heard good reviews. Like the bar is very low.
Like think about Immaculate when you're watching it, and I think you'll love it. Okay. Because I think if I had watched Immaculate first, I would have been like even more in love with this movie because it did things well.
Okay. I'm excited.
Well, if you liked this episode, we were supposed to do ASMR sometimes, but I always forget.
About the ASMR.
Oh, sorry. People don't like mouth sounds.
Oh, like tapping?
Dee-doo, dee-doo, dee-doo. Oh, that's not actually ASMR-y.
I don't like mouth sounds. Was that a fart?
That was my chair.
Oh.
If you liked this episode, rate,
review,
subscribe,
please.
And you can also
follow us
on Instagram or TikTok at
Silent Screaming Podcast.
Thank you. And you can also email us your suggestions and
opinions
at Silent Screaming Podcast. No, Silent Screaming.
Silent screaming, resurrected.
gmail.com. I think that's the email. It's one of fucking those.
It's one of those. Put them both in and you'll be good.
It's this one. silentscreamingpodcast@gmail.com. Well, have a wonderful night. And don't drink in podcast, you sinner.
Pray on your knees, bitch.
Ooh.
Oh.